and 30 FM stations. The top 10 AM stations in the Philippines will deal on news and talk shows, as well as religious programs, while the top 10 FM stations focus more on popular and adult contemporary format of programming, the easy and the contemporary hit radio. So the radio technology and economics in the Philippines. In 2004, this is where when Philippine radio began its first live streaming with the EZRH, the oldest radio station in the country, and with the Wave 89.1 on the FM band. And there are at least 45 known Philippine AM and FM stations which are linked via the internet. And it's only from 2011 to 2015 when radio has ballooned dramatically on the live streaming. But there are a lot of issues still, and the issues range from the licensing and definitive rules and regulations. I know many of you can relate to that, and of course the congressional intervention. Advertising remains the main source of income and profit in Philippine radio. So we go to the main topic. So I'd like to share with you the impact of the social radio, of radio and social scenario in the Philippines. Radio actually is a way of life in the country. Filipinos start their day with radio, from the mothers preparing the food in the morning and their kids to school, up to the evening drive of workers coming home from office, to the late night real-life confessions of the listeners to the DJs giving advice to radio callers. Radio is actually pervasive as it is inexpensive. People in the far-flung areas where television is still not available, radio is their form of entertainment and information. Therefore, radio is very important, especially in the rural areas. Not to mention that people also rely too much on radio news during disasters and calamities. It's also in radio where fresh concepts and fresh informations are given. First, I'd like to say that the one you see in the slide there are the two prominent people in the radio industry who give information and fresh concepts and ideas in the country. One is in the Incendus radio announcer, Ernie Baron, who is also a weather person or weatherman in both in radio and television. And the other one is the prominent Louie Tabi, who is also a producer, a writer, and pioneer in agricultural information being shared over the radio. It is also a means to entertain, as we all know. Now, those are the three top radio disc jocks in the country. And, music is really one of the best programs that I can say youth go into, right? I know you can relate, and all of you will agree. Now, the FM band, it actually primarily caters to the young populace where music is really pervasive, as it plays contemporary hit music. And as I said, the three disc jocks, their format is music, giving advices, cracking jokes, and inserting news bits in their talk sets. And I guess that remains to be the most and the best formula for their audience. Another is drama. The one you see on screen is actually Pia Deli, or in English is Aunt Deli. She is the icon in Philippine radio drama. She hosted a drama program over radio station DZRH, also the oldest radio station in the country, for 45 years. Before she actually passed away in 2008, and it was continued by other people in the radio drama industry. You can see on the screen also the voluminous letters being sent to her. Those are the letters that she actually reads every day as she gives advice to her listeners after a dramatization of the stories being read in the letter. Now, dissemination of information on social issues, I would say number one, radio is for public service. The public service programs present news, but will zero in to providing help and assistance in various forms to the radio listeners. Now, public service programs become very much active during typhoons and disasters. I will show you an example of this coverage, like radio coverage on Yolanda. Now, as you all know, Yolanda or Typhoon Haiyan is the strongest typhoon that ever hit the world, especially the Philippines. And can we play it?
Kung papayuhin kayo ng mata ng bagyo, kapag mabagal yan, ang agal, na papayuhin kayo. Pag medyo may kabilisan, at least, ang beneficyo dito, hindi ganoon katagal na papayuhin ang particular na lugar. Maganda pagka-replay mo, maganda pagka-replay mo.
Alright, so actually it's in Filipino, but the slide actually shows how the veteran news reporter, radio news reporter Ted Filon was broadcasting about the typhoon hours before it struck the country. So he was already telling that this is the typhoon and people must evacuate. Unfortunately, some listened, some did not. But there was really a very much advanced information about the typhoon Yolanda. Tacloban, of course, was the most hit, and over 700,000 people were forced to leave their homes. And unfortunately, 10,000 or more people in the southern part of the Philippines were actually killed by this typhoon. And I would say that this is one of the challenges in Philippine radio reporting, according to the radio news reporters. It's not easy to describe the bodies piling up on streets, the dead people, people who are victims of typhoon. And imagine that you are telling this, describing this over the radio. Another is the radio coverage of Lawing. It's also another typhoon. Again, the second strongest typhoon in 2016. Now, please, maybe.
Lumakas ko wala, tama rin naman.
Okay, that what you just saw on the screen is actually a reporting on radio on Typhoon Lawing, learning from the lessons on Typhoon Haiyan. Radio news have become more aggressive and preventive. Radio newscasts like what you have seen actually were giving more emphasis on the strength who, the evacuation procedures, etc. Now, another is radio coverage of informal settlers. This is the newest social issue in the Philippines right now, where some militant groups, militant informal settlers called Kadamay, forcefully occupy a housing project intended for police and military personnel in the northern part of the Philippines. But the latest news now is that our president, Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte, had already given the houses to them, believe it or not. And he promised that bigger houses for the police and military will be provided soon. Okay, another is radio is a vehicle to update people on political issues. The SAC 44 is one of the political issues in the country. And the Special Action Force, where 44 police died in this encounter with the MILF. And this has actually challenged the leadership of President Ninoy Aquino. The extrajudicial killings, I know you are very much familiar about that. The elections. And the last one is the radio as a channel to instill the cultural heritage of Philippines. And the radio coverages during the time where cultural heritage of the Philippines is, being lived up to is one, Pope Francis' visit in the country in 2015. 20 years after the last visit of Pope John Paul II in 1995. And there's the coverage of the Pope Francis. I'm sorry I cannot show you the video anymore because of the limited time. And the cultural programs. We have very active cultural programs in radio cultural programs. Number one is Art to Art, and another is Radio Balik-Bataw. They are still on air. Art to Art, I think, is almost 20 years. Radio Balik-Bataw is 25 years already on air. And this is what I would like to emphasize in this presentation. Radio on campus and community. So campus radio and community and radio, I believe, are the best ways to sustain the existence of radio. How? Just continue educating the people through the medium of radio. Now, this is an example of the campus radio in the Philippines. One in the left is actually the campus radio in my university. I established it in 2008, so it's been running for quite some time now, with all the students operating, being the desk jobs and the news reporters of this radio station. And the other one on the right is the radio station of the University of the Philippines. Okay, and the last one, the community radio. I believe the community radio is still very important and actually very powerful, as it remains the hope of the people in the provinces, for information and education. So, I would like to ask you, is radio a dying medium?
What else?
Okay. I would say that for as long as there are passionate community radio broadcasters who educate the Filipinos in the far-flung areas, for as long as there are passionate disc jocks who provide entertainment and news to the youth and the young at heart, for as long as there are passionate and brave radio reporters who provide relevant and pressing news and information to radio listeners, and for as long as there are radio producers who provide contents that advance and improve the lives of the Filipino people, certainly I would say